Most people do not go broke because they earn nothing. They go broke because more and more stuff keeps entering life, while money keeps quietly slipping away.
So where does your paycheck actually go? Let's break it down. A big chunk goes to rent and utilities, then groceries, your phone, and don't forget that credit card bill.
And it is not just your imagination. Housing is up, food is up, transport is up, and everyday life keeps asking more from the same wallet. Impulse buys and household expenses can quickly overwhelm a thin budget. It's crucial to track where your money is going.
Welcome back to Mike Finance Lab. Today we're looking at the basics of compound interest and how it can help you grow your money. Because real minimalism is not deprivation. It is removing what drains you so your money, space, and attention can finally work together again.
When you simplify, something changes almost immediately. The room feels lighter, decisions feel easier, and your money starts staying with you a little longer. So instead of vague motivation, I'm going to walk you through simple rules. Rules you can repeat, trust, and use to build real financial stability.
Because from here, there are really two directions. You either keep funding stress and clutter, or you start building peace, margin, and a calmer future.
And the first step is always this. Know the real cost of keeping your life running before you try to improve anything else. Start with the basics: housing, food, transport, utilities, phone, insurance, and anything else you truly cannot avoid month after month.
For most people, housing sets the whole financial tone. If this category gets too heavy, everything else spends the month trying to recover from it.
We've got you covered for all your car needs. Whether it's finding the cheapest fuel, handling insurance, or scheduling that next repair, it's all linked right here.
Food is another quiet leak. Usually groceries are not the problem. The real damage comes from delivery, convenience, snacks, and repeated last-minute choices.
Then come the tiny automatic charges. One app, one stream, one membership, one storage plan. Each looks harmless until they pile up together. Car repairs, medical bills, gifts, and those annual fees really add up. You need a plan to handle these surprises. This is why guessing your expenses is dangerous. The budget in your head is usually smaller than the budget in real life, and that gap creates pressure fast. And always budget from take-home pay, not gross pay. The number that looks nice before tax is not the number your life actually gets to spend. Then add a little cushion, because real life is never perfectly neat. A small buffer gives your essentials room to breathe when things shift. Once you know this number, everything changes. Because now you know your floor, and every smart financial decision will be built on top of it. We start by drawing a line down the middle. Above, we have our wants. Below the line, we place the essentials. Because if you never define enough, your wants will keep inventing new levels forever. Bigger upgrades, bigger bills, and bigger pressure.
The strange truth is that enough often feels lighter than excess. Simpler living can create more peace than a lifestyle built on constant upgrading. By separating your money into these three jars, bills, spending, and savings, you can take control of your financial future. The key is to split the money early. If you wait until emotions start spending, your priorities will always arrive too late.
So you've got your first paycheck, but then the rent and all these other expenses hit. How are you supposed to manage it all?
A recent survey shows that many of us are living paycheck to paycheck. But why do we still feel broke?
Then every week, reset the system. Look at what is left, what drifted, and what needs correction before the month gets away from you.
This is what enough gives you: breathing room. Not just extra money, but extra calm, extra time, and much less pressure around daily life.
I just got paid, so why does it feel like I have even less money than before?
Now let's fix one of the fastest ways money disappears: buying too quickly, before thought has enough time to catch up. So you just got paid, but after looking at all these bills, you're wondering where the money went. Why do we still feel broke?
I just got paid, but I still feel broke. Why does it feel like I'm running out of money already? And for bigger purchases, stretch that pause to 7 days. The larger the price, the slower and more deliberate the decision should be. Because urgency usually feels strongest in the first moment. Give it time, and what felt exciting often starts looking surprisingly ordinary. A wish list helps because it turns impulse into waiting. You do not have to say yes right now just because you noticed something.
And while you wait, compare price, quality, usefulness, durability. Better decisions often appear the moment you stop rushing.
Sometimes the smartest money move is immediate.
Cancel one unused charge, remove one quiet leak, and cash flow improves right away.
The longer you delay emotional spending, the less regret you usually create. Patience protects both your money and your judgment.
So remember the sequence. Stop, pause, then decide. Build that gap between impulse and action, and your money will start behaving differently.
When you buy cheap, you often buy twice. These worn-out sneakers and cracked phone won't last. But this quality laptop, that's a smart investment. A low-quality purchase often feels smart at first. Then it breaks, disappoints you, and sends you back into the same spending cycle again. Got my first paycheck here at the finance lab, but wow, these expenses add up fast. How am I supposed to cover rent and still have some left over?
That is why cost per use matters more than sticker price. The thing you use well for years can easily become the cheaper choice.
Investing in quality upfront saves you money later. Otherwise, you end up like this, struggling to cover rent and expenses. The same is true with tools and home essentials. When something works well and keeps working, it stops creating repeat costs in the background. Even your home gets more affordable when you choose durable simplicity over trend-driven clutter that constantly asks to be replaced.
Minimalism also means caring for what you keep. A little maintenance can extend the life of your best things much longer than people realize.
And fewer things also mean less noise, fewer decisions, fewer replacements, less chaos, and less money draining away through random consumption.
So the rule is easy to remember: fewer, better, longer. Own less, choose well, and let quality reduce how often life asks you to spend.
This week, we're optimizing our routine. By focusing on essential habits like daily reading and efficient meal prep, we can boost both productivity and financial health.
Take coffee as an example. One nurtured cup feels tiny, but repeated without thought, it becomes a lifestyle expense pretending to be harmless.
Meal prep works in the opposite direction. A little planning now can reduce spending, stress, and decision fatigue for the whole week ahead.
Look at how quickly those delivery fees add up. But cooking at home can save you a significant amount, leaving more money in your pocket.
Transport choices matter too. Walking, biking, or transit can quietly reshape the monthly budget without feeling dramatic at all. Welcome. Who says saving has to be dull? You can enjoy low-cost activities like reading, heading to the park, playing games, or watching movies at home. Of course, spending is not always private. Sometimes the pressure comes from other people, from trying to keep up and avoid feeling left behind. Looking for fun social activities that won't break the bank? How about a cozy home dinner, a walk in the park, or grabbing a shared coffee? So whether it's managing your daily expenses or investing in yourself, these tools help ensure your financial health is always balanced. Now we move to the biggest lever of all, large recurring costs. If these are too high, everything else becomes harder.
When considering housing, the modest apartment allows for crucial breathing room. Avoid the pressure of high payments and prioritize your financial health.
Because as space gets larger, freedom often gets smaller. The extra room can quietly cost more than it gives back.
Cars create the same trap. A reliable, simple car protects flexibility, while a flashy, financed one can quietly trap your income for years.
So always count total ownership cost, not just the monthly payment. That headline number is rarely the whole story. As you can see, the income is steady, but these expenses for rent, the car, and dining are quickly overtaking it.
Every raise creates a fork in the road. You can send it toward upgrades and status, or you can send it toward freedom.
Because we've held the line on expenditures, the surplus continues to expand smoothly, demonstrating healthy financial growth. We've cleared up some space in the calendar, and with this small savings reserve, you can finally relax about your home finances. So choose freedom before image. Looking rich for a moment is expensive, but financial flexibility can improve your whole life.
Now let's talk about clutter, because clutter is not random. It is the physical record of old spending decisions.
These boxes are full of things you don't use anymore. But look, there's money locked inside each one, just waiting to be accessed. Keep your finances neat. Place your new investments here on the shelf and move older assets into the donate box. Easy, right? When your paycheck arrives, it's quickly eaten up by expenses like rent. It's important to keep track of where your money is going. Use just 3 decisions: keep, sell, or donate. That small framework makes a messy problem feel manageable. Selling matters too. An old phone, unused headphones, forgotten gadgets,
These can become cash instead of silent clutter. And the emotional effect is real. A clear room reduces noise, lowers friction, and makes ordinary life feel lighter almost immediately. Welcome! Today we'll explore how minimizing impulse buys can maximize your savings over time. This is why lists help so much. A short, clear list protects intention from distraction and keeps buying narrow. By following these simple steps, your financial health improves, leading to a much healthier wallet. See you next time.
Now let's make good decisions harder to break. The easiest way to do that is automation, because automation protects money from mood.
Small transfers may not look dramatic, but they work beautiful. A little moving automatically into savings can build real strength over time.
Roundups work the same way. Tiny amounts that feel forgettable on their own can quietly become progress when captured consistently.
This is your dedicated emergency fund, completely separate from your bills and spending money. That way, you're always prepared.
So save first, right after payday. If money reaches spending before it reaches savings, it usually forgets where it was supposed to go. Then add friction to spending. If buying is too easy, mistakes happen fast. One extra step gives thought time to arrive. Even removing saved cards helps. That extra second of effort can interrupt the speed that impulse depends on. Alerts matter too. A warning line can stop a small drift before it becomes a big monthly problem. And when a real emergency arrives, preparation feels very different. The expense still exists, but the panic does not have to.
That is the beauty of automation. It creates a financial flow where good behavior keeps happening, even when life gets busy, emotional, or distracting. Once your money is organized, the next question becomes even more important. Does your spending actually match what matters most to you? It's a choice between long-term growth and instant gratification. Saving helps you reach big goals, while impulse buys offer quick satisfaction but limit your future.
The used sedan is an essential replacement, giving you reliable transport. But this trendy sports car? That's a want that can definitely wait. On one hand, we have the impulse purchase, often driven by emotion. But taking a moment for intentional decision-making leads to better financial health. And the third question may be the most important one of all. What future goal loses money the moment I say yes to this purchase today? Because some spending is not really about usefulness at all. It is about image, approval, and the brief feeling of looking successful in front of other people. And some spending is emotional. It shows up when you are tired, stressed, overwhelmed, or simply trying to feel better as quickly as possible.
That is why the real goal is bigger than just spending less. The real goal is becoming a more intentional buyer with a clearer reason behind every yes. When your priorities are visible, money stops wandering. It starts moving toward freedom, health, family, peace, learning, and the future you truly care about.
And that is when budgeting starts feeling different. It no longer feels restrictive. It feels like direction, alignment, and self-respect. And once interest enters the story, time stops helping you and starts helping the lender. The longer it sits, the heavier it becomes. As you can see, the monthly payments are barely making a dent in this huge block of debt. We need a better strategy. Debt does not only take money, it takes options, flexibility, breathing room, and the confidence that your next paycheck still belongs to you. So the first move is simple and non-negotiable. Stop adding new debt while you work on clearing the old. After that, momentum matters. Clearing one small balance can create energy, confidence, and the feeling that progress is finally real.
Some people attack the highest interest first, and some attack the smallest balance first. Either path can work if it keeps you moving. What matters most is steady progress. And when debt payments become automatic, your future no longer depends only on motivation.
Then one day, the chain breaks. And when it does, your money stops serving old mistakes and starts serving your life again. Now the next layer is protection, because one bad surprise should not be strong enough to destroy your entire financial system. Your first emergency goal does not need to be huge. It simply needs to exist, because some protection is infinitely better than none. That way, when the car needs repair, you solve the problem with preparation instead of borrowing stress from the future. And when a medical cost shows up, the emotional experience changes. The bill is still annoying, but it no longer feels like disaster.
That is the hidden power of a buffer. It changes bad news from panic into a problem you are actually equipped to handle.
And if you use the fund, that is not failure. That is exactly what it was built for, as long as you rebuild it afterward. Just keep that money separate, because what sits too close to everyday spending has a habit of getting used too casually.
Visible progress helps too. The more clearly you can see the fund growing, the easier it becomes to keep showing up for it.
Think of it like an umbrella. You do not build one because you want rain. You build one because you refuse to be controlled by it.
And that is what readiness feels like. Well, quiet protection in the background, making your life more stable than it used to be. Once your basics are covered, your buffer exists, and debt is under control, money can begin doing something more powerful. It can begin growing.
Not through one giant dramatic move, but through small contributions made consistently, month after month, with patience doing most of the work. That is how compounding works. It looks almost boring at first, then much later becomes stronger than most people expected when they began. And that is why time matters more than trying to be perfectly clever. The market rewards patience more often than prediction. The chart on the left shows how regular, small deposits create steady growth. Compare that to the right, where a single large deposit.
Keep it simple as well. You do not need a complicated investing identity for money to grow. You need clarity, repetition, and patience. Automation helps here too. When investing happens on schedule, growth no longer depends on how inspired you feel that month.
And yes, the market will dip sometimes. But short-term drops are part of the story, not the end of the story.
The long game is where simple living becomes powerful. When your lifestyle leaves margin, that margin can keep feeding future wealth for years. That is what quiet wealth really looks like. Not loud status, but a simple life with a stronger and stronger foundation growing behind it. But there is still one modern leak left to deal with. And for most people, it lives right inside the phone in their hand.
Ads, deals, notifications, and shopping feeds keep waking up wants you never planned to have in the first place.
So remove the invitations, unsubscribe, unfollow, clear the promo emails, and stop letting marketers participate in your financial decisions. Even a cleaner home screen helps, because what you see first affects what you think about, what you tap, and eventually what you spend. When triggers decrease, impulse usually decreases too. Fewer prompts often means fewer purchases, and fewer purchases means more money stays yours. Social comparison makes this harder, of course. Other people's highlight reels can quietly become pressure if you keep measuring your life against theirs.
So stay in your own lane. Your financial plan does not need to look impressive to strangers. It only needs to work for you.
A simple life starts feeling rich the moment you notice what is already enough. Gratitude changes the emotional temperature of spending. As you can see, the green markers indicate the agreed-upon growth targets for this quarter.
Yes, this looks excellent, Mike. We are very happy with the projections.
Then use a short monthly review to keep everything honest. A few numbers, a few corrections, and the whole system stays alive and moving forward.
Now let's bring the whole story together, because none of these ideas work best as isolated tips. They work as one connected system. First, know your real monthly floor, and then define what enough actually means so your lifestyle has a boundary it can respect.
Next, slow your purchases down. Pause, question, compare, and buy with more intention so money stops leaking through emotion and speed.
Build cheaper daily defaults and protect your future by keeping the biggest categories, especially housing and cars, firmly under control. Clear the clutter, simplify what enters your life, and automate the behaviors that matter so good choices happen with less effort. Let your values lead and treat debt freedom as reclaiming your future, one deliberate payment and one honest decision at a time. Build protection first, then let investing turn your extra margin into long-term strength. Safety gives stability, and stability gives growth a place to happen. None of this transforms your life overnight, but each step makes the next step lighter, clearer, and much easier to keep repeating. And eventually, something beautiful happens. You stop chasing the appearance of wealth, and you start living the feeling of it every day. Live better with less, keep more of what you earn, and let that quiet difference reshape your money, your home, and the future you get to build. Start small, stay consistent, and build a system that works even when you don't feel motivated. What's one expense you know is holding you back, and one thing you want to build instead. Comment below, I read every reply, and I'll respond to you.